Hi, I'm Scott Flowers with Cloud Ninjas. Today we're here to continue our series on the Dell PowerEdge R330 server. In this video, we're going to specifically focus on RAID cards. Let's get going. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by today to learn a little bit more about the Dell PowerEdge R330 server. Do us a favor, if you find anything in this video useful, click that like and smash that subscribe. All right, well, let's hop in. This video is going to be specifically focused on RAID cards. So we're going to go over all the different options. We're going to put up a little graph here in a second. We're going to compare them all as far as the PCIe version, how much cache they have, what RAID levels they support, all that good stuff. Then we're going to go and actually install one of the cards. And at the end of the video, we're going to configure RAID 5 for you and show you step-by-step instructions on how to do it all. So let's go ahead and hop in. Let's show you the different options. All right, so we have a few of the options laid out here. This isn't everything, but we're just going to hop into it and go over everything. So first things first, which obviously we couldn't lay out, is a software RAID. It is the onboard software. It's the S130. Offers RAID levels of 0, 1, 5, and 10. There's no cache, of course, since it is a software RAID. And it has drive speeds of 6 gigabit per second for SATA. It is PCIe 3.0, and as we mentioned, it is a software RAID. So the first hardware RAID right here is the H330. And I do want to note this is a PCIe. The only way that you're going to be able to install hardware RAID for your R330 is via PCIe. There is, unfortunately, there's no mini mono for the R330 like you can do for, say, like the 630 and 730 and the 430 and 530 and so forth. The mini mono is a really common feature for the 13th gen. With the R330, you have to use the PCIe. So I did want to point that out, which is why we only have the PCIe laid out. So anyhow, the first hardware is the H330. It is 0, 1, 5, 10, and 50 for the RAID levels. There's no cache, as you can see, and it's going to have the same drive speeds, 6 for SATA, 12 for SAS, and it is also PCIe 3.0, and it is our first hardware RAID. Next, we have the H730, again, PCIe. It's going to have RAID levels of 0, 1, 5, 6, 10, 50, and 60, and it's going to have 1 gigabyte for the cache. It's going to be 6 gigabit per second for SATA, 12 for SAS, PCIe 3.0, and it, of course, is a hardware RAID. Next up is the H730P. H730P is going to be 0, 1, 5, 6, 10, 50, and 60, and it's going to bump up to 2 gigabytes for the cache. That's the real big difference, is the cache. And it's going to be 6 for SATA, 12 for SAS, PCIe 3.0, and it is a hardware RAID. Next, which we don't have feature, of course, we just sold some of these, so I didn't know it before were doing the videos. We had just sold a bunch of these and some other 330s, is the H830. H830 is, in essence, very much the same as the 730P, 0, 1, 5, 6, 10, 50, 60 for the RAID levels, 2 gigabyte for the cache, 6 for SATA, 12 for SAS, PCIe 3.0, and hardware RAID. So those are your options as a whole. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the H330, we're going to go ahead and install it in our R330, and then we're going to show you step-by-step instructions on how to set up a RAID 5 configuration. Let's get going. All right, well, let's hop in and let's install our H330. I did want to note a couple things before we get going. You'll notice that ours does not have a bracket, and that's for a reason. The R330 is set up with a dedicated port back here, or a dedicated PCIe slot, I should say, for your RAID card. It does not require a high profile or low profile. In fact, it needs no profile. So if you're looking to install this and you're wondering what profile, you don't need a profile. There's no profile for the H330 or H730 or any of your PCIe RAIDs for the R330. The second thing that I wanted to note, and we'll show you all this as we go through it as well, is that I'm installing this right now into the 4-bay large form factor. There is an 8-bay large form factor, and one of the differences is the cables that plug into your RAID card. So for the 4-bay, I'm only going to have one cable that plugs into side A over here, whereas with the 8-bay, there's two cables for A and B. So when you see me only do A, I don't want you to think that you only need to do that if you have the 8-bay. You do need to do both. So that's just something I wanted to point out. It's one of the differences. And we do a different chassis video that we'll discuss that as well, but wanted to just highlight that because that was a specific difference for the RAID between those two chassis. messy. So, all right, we're going to hop in and we're going to go ahead and install this. And you will need a screwdriver. I wanted to note that. So make sure your latch is set to unlock. Pop it open. So we're going to come back here and we are going to remove our riser. So we're just going to lift this straight up. And actually you should open this up first. You don't have to, but I'm going to go ahead and open it up, lift it straight up. And then right here you will notice this is the dedicated PCIe slot for your RAID card. So this is where you are going to want to install your RAID card, and you're going to need to undo the screw here and here. With this one, when you remove the screw, it's going to actually, like a hinge, swing this back open to give you more space for your card, whereas back here it's going to remove it and then use it to actually hook the card down. So let's just go ahead and hop in. I like to use just a regular manual screwdriver so that, one, I don't accidentally strip my screws, and two, you just have a better feel for it as a whole compared to using the electric. But to each their own. I like both, but I prefer the manual. Okay, so you'll notice right here, once we undo or remove the screw, it just swings open. So we're going to open it up. And then we're going to take our card. I like to personally go ahead and install the cable first and then install the actual card. So let's just go ahead and hook this up to A. So it just clips right in, nice and easy. And then we're going to come down here, and this is why you need this open. So we're going to come down here and we're going to install this into the dedicated PCIe port, and you'll hear it just click right in. And then we're going to swing this back over, screw this down, and screw this down. So we're going to grab our two screws. And just like that, we have installed our RAID card. So really it was just that simple. And then we're going to come back in and we are going to put the riser back over. Just make sure you have it lined up. Push it in and make sure it's nice and flush, and it was just that simple. So now we're going to go ahead and actually configure RAID 5 with our H330. Alright, so now that we've seen the different RAID options, we've seen how to install the RAID cards, we're going to actually figure out how to configure it. So on the boot screen menu, you're going to want to click Control R, and this is going to take you to the actual RAID screen, also known as the Virtual Disk Management. When you get to the Virtual Disk Management screen, the first thing that you're going to want to do is actually select the RAID card. In this case, it's going to be the H330. So we're going to click the H330 there. It's going to give you a couple of different options when we select it. We're going to hit Clear Config, because that's the first thing you want to do is get rid of the old configuration to set up a new one. It's going to give you the warning message. We're just going to click Yes because we want to clear it. So we're going to click on it again. The same options are going to pop up. This time we're going to hit Create New VD. Under this, we're going to go to the RAID level that you want to select. What we want for this option is we're going to do RAID 5. Of course, you can click whatever you want here. After you've selected your RAID level, you need to pick the disk that you want to add to it. So we're going to select the individual disk, and you see the X popping up on the left there. So after we select the individual disks, you can come in and add a name if you want. Click Advanced. Under Advanced, you're going to go to Initialize. You want to initialize this, and it will give you a warning message that's going to destroy the current data. Click Yes if that's okay. Click OK. Click OK again. Click OK again. And that's what we're doing right now, is a bunch of OKs. And after we've done all the OKs and it's given us all the messages, you've actually now configured your RAID. It wasn't that difficult to do. You just need to follow a few strategic steps. You can see there it's showing that it's at a RAID 5. We want to exit, so click OK. And then when you boot it back up, you can check it as well by going back into the same screen by hitting Control R and getting into the to the RAID screen to make sure everything is still good. So thanks for stopping by today. Learn a little bit more about how to configure the RAID on your R330 server. Do us a favor, if you find this video useful, click that like, smash that subscribe. And if you're looking to order an R330 server yourself, we custom build them here. We'd love the opportunity to earn your business. Please do us a favor, email us at sales@cloudninja.com. That's sales@cloudninja.com. Or if you're just looking for any spares, RAID, CPUs, RAM drives, etc., we'd love to help you out. Thanks for stopping by. Take care, guys.